Alright everybody, how y'all doing? And welcome back to 3 and Out with the Dolphins. Your host Ron here as I go over Sunday stats from the Dolphins and Cowboys game. Yes, the Cowboys came in our backyard and they played. It was basically a pretty balanced attack on both sides of the ball. From Prescott, Tua, defense was playing well on both ends, but the Dolphins came up with the victory. And with that victory, we clinched the playoffs as the Dolphins spanked the Cowboys 22-20. Yes. As the Cowboys are on a 2 to 3 game losing streak, but we handled them down. Yes, we did. But other than that, Prescott did pretty good. It was just like I said, it was a balanced attack on both sides. Prescott had 20 of 32 for 253 yards and 2 touchdowns. On the Dallas rushing, it was pretty decent, Rushing game, Tony Pollard had 12 for 38 yards. Dak Prescott, he jumped in the mix with 5 carries for 25 yards. CeeDee Lamb had 2 carries for 14 yards, and Brandon Cooks had 1 for 9. Cavante Turpin had 1 carry for 4 yards. Rico Dowdle had 2 carries for 4 yards, and Hunter Lupicki had 2 carries for 3 yards, giving them a total of 25 carries for 97 yards. It's not bad. Now, on Dallas receiving end, of course, the boy, nobody cannot stop CeeDee Lamb. Nobody cannot stop him. So, wow. CeeDee Lamb had 6 receptions for 118 yards and 1 touchdown. Jalen Tolbert had 2 receptions for 51 yards. Jake Ferguson was in the mix with 4 receptions for 45 yards. And Brandon Cook had 2 receptions for 14 yards. Everybody else was just pretty much basic. Hunter Lupicki had 1 reception for 8 yards. Tony Pollard, 1 reception for 5 yards. Cavante Turpin had 1 reception for 4 yards. Luke Schoonmaker had 1 reception for 4 yards. And Michael Gallup had 2 receptions for 4 yards, giving them a total of 20 receptions for 253 yards. Yes, Dak Prescott could spread the ball around just like Tua. And Tua was doing the same thing, but Tua didn't have that many targets. But because Jalen Waddle went out with the ankle injury, so everything was on Tyreek Hill, and Cedric Wilson was doing this thing. So, everybody was in the mix. Darian Smite was doing this thing. So, the Dolphins had a pretty much balanced attack on offense and defense. They had the answer. And just like I said in my last week episode, when we spanked the Jets, what type of game are we going to play? We're going to go ahead and play that A game, or we're going to play that flunky game. And the Dolphins on both sides, offense and defense, brought their A game. And that was awesome. Now, points was pretty decent. In the first quarter, Dallas scored 7, Miami scored 3, and the Miami scored the first points off a Dallas turnover. They fumbled the ball off a handoff snap, but they answered by scoring 7 points coming back down. In the second quarter, Dallas zip, Dolphins 10. Third quarter, Dallas 3, Dolphins 6, which was giving us a 19 to 16 lead. So, it was pretty decent. Then they scored and they went up to 20-19. So it was kind of scary. But with 4-something left on the clock, we pretty much controlled the clock. And in the last quarter, we scored the winning game field goal. Yes. In the fourth quarter, Dallas had 10 to our 3. Yep. It was 20-19. And with 2 seconds left on the clock, after we had a nice, great drive, a couple of penalties on Dallas defense, which gave us decent field position, but Tua was able to find Hill. The running game was on point as we moved the ball down to kick the winning field goal, which gave us the victory 22-20. Now on Dolphins side, the stats. Tua Tagovailoa had completed 24 of 37 for 293 yards and 1 touchdown. He was sacked 1 time for a 9-yard loss. Of course, the boys came after him. Yes, A three-man bull rush came right after Tua won the defensive end of the Cowboys after his knees, and down went Tua. Yes. On the rushing, just like I said, on both sides, it was a pretty much balanced attack. Raheem Mostert had 11 carries for 46 yards. Devon Chain had 7 carries for 24 yards. Jeff Wilson came in and put up his little numbers. 5 carries for 21 yards. Jalen Waddle was in the mix for 1 carry for 2 yards. And Tua had 2 carries for -2. Giving the team total of 26 carries for 91 yards. No touchdowns. But old Big Daddy could not be stopped. Tyreek Hill on the primary receiving side. Tyreek Hill had 9 receptions for 99 yards. Durham Smythe had 5 receptions for 56 yards. Jalen Waddle had 1 reception for 50 yards. And after that, they're being tackled. He injured his ankle and had to leave the game. Cedric Wilson had 3 receptions for 42 yards. Roby Chosen jumped in with 1 reception for 19 yards. Alec Ingold had 2 receptions for 12 yards. Devon Chain had 1 reception for 7 yards. Raheem Mostert had 1 reception for 4 yards. And Jeff Wilson 1 reception for 4 yards. Total receptions was 24 receptions for 293 yards and a touchdown. Yes. Just like I said, on both ends, it was pretty much a balanced team attack. I mean, Prescott and them Cowboys came to play, as well as our Dolphins came to play. So it was a matter of who had the ball last and who was going to go ahead and win the game. Unfortunately, y'all saw it. Cowboys 20, Dolphins 22. Yes. Going over the team leaders. Game leaders of the game was Prescott with 20 of 32 for 253 yards, 2 touchdowns. Tua Tagovailoa had 24 of 37 for 293 yards and 1 touchdown. So it was pretty much a balanced attack. T. Pollard had 12 carries for 38 yards. Raheem Mostert has 11 carries for 46 yards. On the receiving end, C. Lamb cannot be stopped. He has 6 receptions for 118 yards and 1 touchdown. Tyreek Hill had 9 receptions for 99 yards. Yes, and he was getting into the mix. The whole key thing was the Cowboys were going to go ahead and shut down Hill, trying to force everything on Waddle's side where they could go ahead and press the field because you went one side now. So, yeah. But Tua said, we're not doing that. So, they found them boys. Yes, sir. And we won. We won on the team stats. Basic balanced attack on both sides. Total yards, Dallas had 339 yards. Miami had a total of 375 yards. 1 turnover, just like I mentioned on that turnover on Dallas' side, was his handoff. And it was recovered, and the Dolphins came up with a field goal on that. Dolphins had no turnovers. First down was Dallas had 19 first downs. 2 Dolphins 22 first downs. Balanced attack. Basically, the Cowboys was in cruise control. Time of possession was 31 minutes and 2 seconds to Miami 28 minutes and 58 seconds. A basic balanced attack team. And you cannot go wrong for that. So now, who do we have up next for Week 17? Yes, sir. Week 17. Y'all see it up there. We got those Ravens at Ravens Backyard at M&T Bank Stadium on Sunday, December 31st at 1 p.m. We play out the Baltimore Ravens. And Week 18, as we close out the season, as the Buffalo Bills come in our backyard, Hard Rock Stadium, on Week 18. Ooh wee baby. And that's a good thing because it's going to be another interesting game because as the Dolphins clinched the playoffs with the win yesterday, with the victory, now can we go up there and close the season out with the last 2 remaining games? Finish the season as 13-4. Yes, 13-4. And I said it. So, with those last 2 remaining games left, the Ravens in Week 17 and Buffalo to be announced in Week 18, can we close the season out with the last 2 victories and get ready for the playoffs? Because I'm excited. Dolphins have clinched the playoffs. Yes, 2 years straight, baby. Yes, we got a playoff team here, and I'm excited to have the Dolphins in the playoffs 2 years straight. Now, we're going to get it together. We might be in a Super Bowl maybe 3-4 years down the line from now, but we're going to just take it one day at a time, one game at a time. So we got the Ravens up Week 17 in Ravens' backyard on December 31st at 1 p.m. As I go ahead and close all this out, thank y'all for watching. Let's get ready for Week 17 as we finna go to take on them Ravens. I'm out.